Well, I was very fortunate to be raised in an awesome Christian family with parents who love the Lord. And I knew of the Lord my whole life and had a relationship with him, even though I had this incredible family and I had these parents who really poured into my life. I just struggled so much with who I was. There were people at school that teased me viciously, things that no one should hear spoken over them. I would hear day after day. Eventually I ended up, after high school, going down to Bible college. I ended up dating this man, ended up in this just horrible toxic relationship. I just struggled so much with what my identity was and who is Amy and what makes her special. There was a morning that I woke up. I was standing in the bathroom and I was looking in the mirror, and there's this blonde-headed person staring back at me, this dark and sullen and inward just person who I couldn't even recognize. When you're in a bad relationship, when you have someone who's speaking death over you day after day after day, all of a sudden you start believing that you deserve those things. And I started believing that I deserved those things. It was that very day that I called him, and it was the very day that I ended the relationship. And when that happened, things just escalated. I was fearful. I didn't know if he was going to show up on my doorstep, and the things that he spoke over me just really caused my heart to harden. And I could not move past the decisions that I made while I was in this relationship. I could not move past the words that he spoke over me while I was in this relationship. I was just at this breaking point in my life where I just was so broken, and I was so hurting, and I was so filled with just hurt. And I opened my Bible. I started praying over my life that Lord would purify my heart. And I just started praying that over my life. And it just in my living room every morning, just praying, okay, Lord, something has got to change. I felt like I needed something to awaken within me. I saw an event invite for this service called Awakening. And I just remember hearing the word awakening and thinking I need an awakening. That's what I need, is an awakening, but I don't know what to do to get there. So I got up and I ended up going to the awakening service, and I sat there and I listened to this man so passionate for the Lord. He had an altar call at the end. There are many things that he spoke on that just completely convicted and touched my heart. At the end, he had an altar call. And so I'm like, no, I am not going up there. I'm just gonna stay right here. And I got goosebumps all over my entire body. And I heard, get up and go. I took 2 steps out and I just walked forward, and I stood there, and I just felt the overwhelming presence of Jesus. I just began to weep, and it was just this deep cleansing cry. There was just this peace, this complete peace that just washed over me in that moment. And I remember just standing there, and there's tears falling down my face, and all of this stuff, all of these things that had been swimming around in my head and swimming around in my mind, they were just done. They were just gone, and what was left was just this calm and just this peace and this quiet. After that encounter, I realized that in order to conquer the lies that are constantly screaming in my mind, I had to have truth, and I had to have truth to fight back with it. I just said the very next morning, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna read my Bible and I'm gonna start praying, and I'm gonna do this every single day. The Lord has just completely gone into areas that I had closed off because of my own stupid decisions, and brought restoration into my heart. There is no story, there is nothing that he can't redeem and that he can't change. There's nothing else in this world that can provide what he has to offer when we simply submit our hearts to him. I allowed my shame and insecurities to define me, but now I'm defined by who the Lord says that I am.